Hello, welcome to the morning news. With the Summit of the Americas set to begin at the end of this week, Venezuelans continue to gather signatures demanding the repeal of the U.S. Decree against the South American country. President Nicolás Maduro announced that the petition opposing Washington's latest sanctions has topped 8 million signatures as of Sunday, as they be presented at the summit. President Barack Obama issued an executive order on March the 9th declaring a national emergency, calling Venezuela an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. Ecuador has invested heavily in what has been called intercultural bilingual education, allowing students from all backgrounds to benefit from the incorporation of Quechua and other indigenous languages in curriculum. Our correspondent Liz Sharpes has this story.
Nearly 2,000 schools are teaching the languages of the 14 distinct indigenous nationalities of Ecuador. At these intercultural bilingual schools, both Spanish and the language pertinent to the specific region where the school is located are incorporated into the curriculum.
There are students who learn indigenous languages at home. As you know, the first teachers of children are their parents. So schooling in this case does not make them stop learning the Quechua language. In this case, they continue learning here in the institution. They hone their skills instead of losing it.
Schools have had favorable results, as 89% of indigenous students earned their high school degrees in 2006, with that number rising to be 96% in 2014. As the continuation of this, indigenous students earning bachelor's degrees rose from being 24% in 2006 to 55% in 2014. Isela Nauki, an indigenous student at the Mushukpakari school in Quito who speaks Quechua, said she feels like the school is an inclusive environment.
I like it because other students learn what I already know, and they don't say that I am not the only one that speaks Quechua.
Beginning with 95,000 students in 2006, the intercultural bilingual schools today count on some 149,000 students. The success of these schools is thanks to an investment of $217 million and the training of some 8,700 indigenous and non-indigenous teachers in intercultural pedagogy.
We are strengthening intercultural bilingual education. We additionally want, as a part of this strengthening, each other spaces of the Ministry of Education to have this criteria. These concepts of intercultural bilingual education permit traditional education.
The inclusive curriculums of the intercultural bilingual schools seek to keep alive indigenous languages and cultures, which are at the risk of disappearing in certain areas of Ecuador. With its expansion on a national level and the construction of 17 more of these schools this year, intercultural bilingual education is being recognized as crucial for Ecuador to be considered a truly plurinational state. Liz Sharpes, teleSUR, Ecuador.
As obesity and diabetes in Mexico dramatically increase, climbing to be one of the countries with the most cases in the world, some are seeking legislation to tackle this growing problem. Our correspondent Clayton Khan has more.
The appearance of these machines are increasingly becoming more prevalent throughout Mexico City's public transit system, part of a public health project aimed at promoting exercise.
We invite people to perform a set of squats, and there are a number of these machines in different Metrobus stations around Mexico City.
The city affirms that in the near future, free one-way passes on public transit will be given to riders who do 10 squats. Although it is not a complete workout, many riders say it will help raise awareness.
For me, it is good, so that we can learn to have a healthy lifestyle. And that is what needs to change, the bad habits. From my generation to that of my children, lifestyles have changed, especially in terms of nutrition.
This year, Mexico surpassed the United States to being one of the most obese countries in the world, with at least 30% of the population considered to suffer from the epidemic, according to a UN report. Some senators and civil organizations have proposed a general health bill, knowing that they will face stiff resistance and strong interests.
Mexico is in first place for child obesity, and as you may know, 1 of 3 children could have diabetes, and if not clear and decisive actions are taken.
So people know who are the lawmakers that are defending the health of the population And who are the legislators that are defending private corporate interests?
These civil society organizations and senators proposed a series of legislation that seeks for the clear labeling of products with high sugar and fat contents, as well as stronger regulation of publicity campaigns of these products. However, in late March, a majority of the Senate made its opinion clear.
The initiative for the general law to prevent and attend to overweight obesity was rejected, as well as other initiatives that were designed to strengthen regulations that are already functioning.
According to opposition parties in favor of the legislation, the social costs of not approving these bills against obesity will also translate into harsh economic realities, predicting a $9.9 billion price tag on the public health system by 2017. Clayton Khan, teleSUR, Mexico City.
Days after the shotgun attack at a Kenyan university, the country began to grieve. On Sunday, Kenya began 3 days of national mourning for the 148 students massacred by Somalia's Al-Shabaab extremists at Garissa University. Easter church services included prayers for the victims of Thursday's attack. President Uhuru Kenyatta has vowed retaliation but warned against attacks on Kenya's large Muslim and ethnic Somali minorities. While the 4 gunmen were killed and several arrested, authorities are seeking others involved in the crime. Italy's Coast Guard and Navy rescued some 1,500 migrants in the Mediterranean Sea Saturday after reportedly receiving requests for help via satellite phones from barges just off the coast of Libya. The rescue team spotted 5 boats packed with people who were then sent to migration centers. According to 2014 figures, about 170,000 migrants, mostly from North Africa and Middle East, regularly entered Europe through Italy by boat. More than 3,000 perished at the sea. Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis held talks with the IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde in Washington, D.C. regarding the country's loan repayment plans. Calling the meeting extremely productive, Varoufakis said the Syriza government will make the nearly $500 million loan repayment to the IMF by the April 9 deadline. The Greek minister is also expected to meet with members of the U.S. Treasury today to discuss the reforms proposed by the left-wing government led by Alexis Tsipras. And one of the biggest clubs in Turkish soccer is calling for the country's league to suspend the plays after its team was attacked last week. After a league game against Rizespor Saturday, the boss of Turkish giant Fenerbahce was shot, injuring the driver of the vehicle. The Istanbul-based club, which boasts players including former Liverpool star Dirk Kuyt and Portugal national Bruno Alves and Raul Meireles, said the incident was a planned assassination attempt and called for the suspension of the National League Championship until the gunmen are found. Police say they are got a handmade rifle, but were still looking for the assailant. More on this on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.